What is going on, guys? It's Dealer here, back again with what will be a very phenomenal, absolutely fantastic RDX podcast with a great panel. So I'm going to start with the introductions as we prepare to talk about Battlefield, PlayStation 5, PS4 being on its way out the door, and so much more. And we're starting with guests this week. Crap Gamer, thanks for joining us.
Hey, woo, yeah, I'm here, everybody. Thanks for the round of applause, man. Everybody, calm down. I'm here. It's good. It's an honor to be here. I was told I was banned from this show, by the way. Somebody one time messaged me that and
Really?
said, "Yeah, I heard you're banned." So yeah, you like you,
get him off here. Get him off.
That's a really bad ban. It's like the opposite of banning.
I know, right? I was banned from E3 apparently too, so unbeknownst to me. So, but I am glad to be here. There's a lot of cool stuff to talk about, the breaking stuff and the PS4 stuff and the State of Decay 2 stuff. So it's going to be a good show, man. Thanks for the invite.
Yes, it absolutely is. And as we always encourage, and anyone listening, hear motherfuckers out, see what they got to say, and hold them accountable, and maybe ask a question before you freak the fuck out. Because that's a problem with podcasts. People run with one little thing and it's not a big deal. My DMs are open. So, also we got Colt Eastwood, and really I'm going to skip Colt for now because he's just too cool. We're going to let it build up, right? He's the Naughty Dog YouTube. Saltiest Gaming. How you been, brother?
Hey, call me Salty the Zombie Slayer, right? Because, I'm slaying zombies, all right? Yeah, it was fun. We played last night, like 6 hours straight for myself, and yeah, it was fun. So.
Yeah, it was a great time. You know what? We're going to talk about State of Decay as well. And now that it's out and about, we're going to talk about our experiences, our impressions, glitches, what's going on, and we're going to get the whole panel's taken. I know we got some mixed stuff here, so it should be interesting. If you're not interested in State of Decay 2, bear with us, but I feel like people should know what's going on now that the game is out. Colt, now it's your turn. Colt Eastwood, how you been, bro?
Good. Been playing State of Decay 2. Broken game. Can't even get the controller to turn on. Can't even get no. I've been just running around bringing rucksacks full of pizza and bolts back to my.
Just a bag full of pizza. Here you guys go.
Yeah, just like there you go. Yeah, having a good time. And this is like a jam-packed panel.
Yeah. Speaking of jam-packed, Fonza Rally, how you been?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. Anyway, it's Tuesday, having mic issues. Let's talk about this stuff.
Let's talk about this stuff and let's get that ambient out of your system, sir.
Let's talk about this stuff.
We've also got D Batch, man, the Sultan of Goats. How you doing?
I am good. I'm good, man. I was up late till like almost 5 o'clock in the morning playing State of Decay on the PC, on the Xbox One X. So I got a lot to say about it. So let's go, man.
And last but not least, So Shady. Thanks for joining us again.
Definitely not a problem. Shout out to everyone for joining us today. It's a special show for me. I get to podcast with a couple of guys I've been listening to for a long time. It was none other than The Crap Gamer and his magnetic titling that poured me into this community. And now I'm doing a show. It's fantastic. The circle is now complete, my friend.
Hey, well, it's always good to do podcasts with people like in the community and stuff like that. It's I mean, that's what makes it go around, that's the fun part.
Oh man, Lucian, brother. I don't know if that's if you're just making fun of the Sony guys or if I'm gonna have to destroy you by the end of the show, but just
we go look him up.
I'm gonna give him a second chance here. I'm gonna give him a second chance. I'm a man of second chances. So
I like to do a little bit of research. He likes Dark Souls and he doesn't have any channel content, so he's probably just kidding around.
All right, well, we'll see. So hey, I hate to delay it a little bit more. I gotta give a shout out to the patrons that power this show, the sponsors of the show. So we got Mel S, Chief Exec. We've got the Darj Knight. We've got Early Mendenthal. We got Guillermo Calvillo, and of course Lethal Pampa. We've got a sponsor question in the topics as well. If you're interested, check out the description of the patrons down below. And hey, I want to talk about State of Decay 2. Experiences. What's going on with this game? Instead of 68 on Metacritic. Your impressions, and I want to start with Crap.
You know what? I like the game, right? Like I think it's a fun game. I'm kind of disappointed with the peer-to-peer aspect since I was most looking forward to playing through it with my friends, and I played it with Mooch and All Day and Luca, and they had trouble staying connected, and that was a bit of a drag. So I've just been kind of playing through it myself since then, and I think it's a fun game. It's got some unfortunate kind of bugs and stuff that I've run into. Stuff where like Luca, she spawned in the wall all day, spawned in the floor.
So just so we're clear, though, this was in a multiplayer match where you had all these bugs.
Yeah. That most of the stuff has been multiplayer stuff. Yesterday when I was doing solo though, I got hit by one of those big what the hell are they called? The big blobby ones.
Juggernaut?
And the Juggernaut, and it knocked me so far that it knocked my like everything off the screen. Like I had no way to hit select or anything. Like I couldn't do anything, and then it just killed me. And I was like, damn it.
You lost the character?
Yeah, I lost the character too because you couldn't rewind it. I was like, well, I can rewind, but it's like that motherfucker. He hit me so hard that I couldn't hit. Nothing would come up. I couldn't do anything. I didn't know how much health I had left. Next thing you know, he picked me up and like they bite your head off or something. It was ridiculous. But I was like, wow, that
Roy Nelson fucked you up and gave you an achievement.
Yeah, you know. So it's like for me, I like that game. I think that game would be much better received between two bigger titles by Microsoft. You know, it has a big spotlight on it right now. And it comes right after God of War, so everybody's going to be like, "Well, Sony had God of War, so this is Microsoft's offering, and it's not nearly as good," which is really kind of lame to compare the two since they're nothing alike. You know, the game is fun. It has some issues, but I think that if you're a fan of the first one, you're going to like it. It's better than the first, so it's a little bit surprising to see the worst scores
in every single way, right?
Yeah, so like that is kind of weird. Like I can understand the disappointment. Like I said, the disappointment with me personally is mostly just the Azure stuff. Like Microsoft has Azure. It's a first party game. Yeah. That's just weird that they
put it on the fucking Azure. How about that?
It's like it's weird, you know. So for me personally, I think that it gets a bad rap. But then again, if you say anything positive about it, people just think you're damage controlling. Yeah. I said it's a fun game. You know, I played it. I'm going to keep playing it. There's a lot of stuff to do in there for sure. So
the masses are definitely riding the sack of this game. And I got to give a shout out to Super Chat real quick. Family Matters, he says, "What's good, Xbox family? Loving the panel. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining. The rest of you guys as well. Hit that like button if you can as we continue. Like I said, we're talking about State of Decay real quick to inform those that are curious. But we got a ton of great topics coming up as well. Now, when you said you were playing multiplayer with All Day, shout out to All Day. I know All Day does have Toretto IP tunneling errors on his router. I helped him deal with these in the past. And if he's in your game, it's definitely going to mess things up. As I said in my review of the game, peer-to-peer. It's classic peer-to-peer, just like any other peer-to-peer game before it. NAT settings are extremely important. Packet loss is extremely important. But you don't necessarily have to have a super fast speed. You got 3 megs down. I played with somebody who had 3 megs down, but his NAT settings are open. He's fine.
Yeah, I mean that could have been part of the problem. You know what I mean? Like I've tried the multiplayer a couple of times. The first time I tried it, it was okay. They were lagging around a little bit, but wasn't too bad. Because the problem with my internet is it fluctuates a bit. So sometimes it'll be high, and then sometimes it'll drop, and that's like a problem even when I watch Netflix. Like it'll pixelate at times and stuff. So yeah, you know.
But I have played with Mooch. Who he mentioned he had a bad experience. We had a great time. Luca had the same crazy experience you did because she was in that lobby. No glitches or anything crazy. She said that on Twitter. Lord Cognito, Lord Sinister, Colt Eastwood here. Salty, we were playing last night. Titan Drago, Darth Vicious. I'm gonna play with Shady today, but I know Erie, Von66, G-Man, so many people that I've played co-op with and have not had Fonz. I just played earlier with Fonz in King's Blood.
It's like weird because earlier I saw this one dude on Twitter, his menu, the writing wouldn't come in on it, right? Like it was weird. They told him to like uninstall it, reinstall it. It was like some weird. So there's like definitely some weird things going on for some people. I don't think it's like super widespread as like what a lot of people are making it out to be. I think my overall complaint is the Azure servers, and I wish Microsoft would have maybe put in a little bit more money into the game because I feel like
swap Sea of Thieves budget, right?
Yeah, I don't even think Sea of Thieves had that great a budget. I think that both those games kind of had lackluster budgets, and it wasn't until Sea of Thieves really kicked off that last beta where Microsoft's like, oh damn, this could be a hit, that they were like, okay, hire a bunch of people. You know, I don't think they believed in the game. You know, and now it's like, look, there's like
why put out a game though if you don't believe in it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unfortunate, but I think the price speaks for itself. Now, Fonz, I want to come to you because you've had more bugs than all of us combined. I definitely want to come to you, but I also want to talk to Salty because he just started the game last night as well.
Yeah, I purposely waited, and I didn't say shit on social media. You know, I wasn't saying anything. I was holding all my reservations to actually playing this game. I recently played the first one again just to kind of get acquainted with how the first one ran. I hopped into this game, and it was it was super fun. Like, to give you an example, it's like those games that you play hours and hours and it just goes by so quick. We were playing with, you know, friends the whole time. We were having fun, just laughing, doing everything. Like the animations are awesome. I like the characters. I like the way the game looks, like the way the sun's setting in the beginning and the colors and everything like that. As far as the peer-to-peer connections go, if you think about it, this game's $30 and it's a smaller dev team. You have bigger AAA third-party titles like For Honor and Destiny. The Destiny PvP was, you know, it was peer-to-peer. So it's not like it's unheard of in video games at this point, and especially with, you know, the way Microsoft was handling this game, and it was during the time with the budget situation. I have nothing but praise for this game. I've had a few things like rubber banding when we were driving the car, but that's about it. I didn't have crashes. I didn't have anything game breaking. I've had nothing but fun, honestly.
Now,
So,
if you're a mountain climber in the game, yeah, I could see you getting stuck and stuff. Like if you're climbing on shit, I don't do that. I generally will go across the plains and I don't try to scale the fucking mountains Skyrim style. You know what I'm saying? So I get it if you're doing that. And obviously there's issues because the developers put a, hey, I'm stuck fucking button in the game. So, you know, we're not saying people don't have issues, co-op or single player. We're just giving our own opinions. And the reason I had to make my video yesterday is because you got 98% of people when the game's not out. I'm sitting there playing it. I got 20 hours in at the time. And they're saying it's trash, anti-consumer, it doesn't work. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, let me do this from a perspective of a fan. I talked about the glitches, all of them that I found. I talked about the fact that, yeah, it needs dedicated servers. It should have had them. But just because I kind of was positive about the game, which I do like it and better than the first one in every single way, it's damage control. So that's kind of something that's odd. Yeah. People don't listen and they're fucking idiots. Now, Fonz legitimately has issues with the game. He's had stuff go on. So go ahead and give your take on it real quick.
Where do I start first? First of all, I think hell froze over because I agree with Crap.
Oh no!
I look. The game is a solid 7 to me right now. Okay,
it's a solid 7. Sorry, you lagged a little bit.
Yeah, it's a 7 to me right now. As far as the problems go, well, I was first met with a hard crash right after the prologue. First boot up, picked my characters, played through the prologue, and then hard crash. Then I had to start all the way over, which was only about 20 minutes for that prologue, thank God, because if it had been like 2 hours in, I probably wouldn't have started over. Sorry.
Yeah. And that did happen to someone else on Twitter, said that today too, so that's apparently an issue.
Yeah, a guy hit me up and said he has an issue after the prologue. It keeps crashing on him. And I suggested what you told me to suggest to him, which was uninstall it and try and reinstall it. I didn't have any further issues after the first crash, but then I just encountered a bunch of annoying bugs, okay, in the game. And the problem to me is the fact that this game is based heavily on immersion, and it breaks that immersion at times when you get caught up in these annoying bugs. You know, you get your car gets stuck. You can't. There's no unstick your car button. Okay. There's certain things about the game that just annoy me, and I wish that they would have actually put some more quality control into this game. Like they should have polished this game a bit more before they released it, in my opinion. I mean, you got Microsoft putting the peer-to-peer thing on there, and I'm sorry, when you have your own servers and stuff, there's no reason this thing shouldn't have had its own servers. I know you heard some stuff today, and you can talk about that in a bit regarding that, dealer, but that is an issue to me. And the fact that they've spent so much money on a game like Sea of Thieves and really poured it into that, and here's a game that really I think encompasses so much more, and there's so much more potential that this game could be. And that's why I'm kind of critical with this game, is because I really like the game. I just think that the potential is there, and the ball was dropped a bit there. And
I just hate that you've had the bugs you've had and stuff, because I think I've probably got more time than most of this panel combined, and I haven't had some of the issues you've had at all, like not even close. And you know, I want you to be critical. That's why I want your opinion on it.
And I want to address people out there, because I think the big narrative that I see, and it pisses me off to no end, is when people say stuff like, well, you know, every game has bugs. Bullshit. Not every game has fucking bugs. And I don't want people to subscribe to that fucking narrative. Yeah, I'm sorry to be cursing so much, but it pisses me off because look, we're in a day and age of this online gaming bullshit, and I understand that they can patch things, they can fix things, but these developers got to start getting shit right from the jump. Stop fucking pushing shit out that isn't ready just with promises and shit that, oh, it'll be fixed later. I'm tired of that, and people don't believe that hype. Not every game has issues. We shouldn't just accept everything and just say, oh, it's okay, it's fine, you know.
Yeah. It should be a little more, have a little higher now, I think most every game does have some kind of bug, but that doesn't make it acceptable. That doesn't mean that I'm like okay with it, because I'm not. As I said in my review, like, they're there, and it's not a good thing. So that was you know, like I said, I want to get your take on it real quick.
Last thing I just want to say is, you know, what was it? Oh yeah, what Crap was saying earlier, again, this is what I really agree with, is the fact that all eyes are on Microsoft right now with this product, especially because just less than 2 months ago they had another product that was released that wasn't well received. So I mean, you've got 2 duds in a row essentially, and you know, that's why everybody's really looking at Microsoft and going, really, you're going to put that out with God of War in between these 2 games?
Well, I think the real problem is people talking without playing the game. So even you, with all your problems, said it's a 7. If let's say you didn't have all those problems, it'd be higher probably. I haven't had like 95% of the problems you've had. I talked to King's Blood, who expected to have a lot of problems. He has 0 problems in 7 hours. He's playing on the most problematic platform, apparently, the PC. And we got so many people in the panel. I want to cover everybody, but it's just such a long chunk. But you know, when it comes to the bases being dedicated servers, apparently I heard this today that if you had dedicated servers, which I still think they need to figure it out, but apparently it would cause some kind of world syncing problem. They're working on it or some shit. I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt. So D, real quick, man, what's your thoughts on the game real quick?
Well, I don't want to downplay people having glitches, because, you know, clearly they're
there. Yeah.
But fortunately for me, I didn't experience them, and I played it both on the PC, both on Xbox One X. Only time I ever encountered a glitch is when I enabled co-op and some people came into my game and I got stuck one time. Apart from that, when I was just playing by myself, I didn't experience one glitch. I didn't have any real frame hiccups. The game ran pretty smooth, and I'm enjoying it. The only thing I noticed is there was no HDR on the PC. I don't know if it was my setup or not, but the HDR didn't trigger on the PC and it did on the Xbox One X. But apart from that, I'm enjoying the game. I don't understand all the hate that the game is getting. Apart from the glitches, fine. If you're having glitches, of course, that's going to break your experience. But the game is fun. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy, you know, killing the zombies. You know, right? You know, getting, you know, the cure for my mates, and, you know, you're able to switch off and choose somebody else. It's a great game. It's fantastic.
I just want people to consider that 90% of the hate this game got came from people that didn't even play the game when it first came out. So just think about that. It's kind of like a bandwagon type deal for the most part. Of course, as I said in my review, I'm sure there are people that have all their ducks in a row. Their internet's perfect, everything's, and they still have problems. But, you know, for the most part, from everyone I've played with and talked, there's very minimum. Fonz has kind of got some issues there, and that sucks. And hopefully they get patched for sure. Charlie, 01 Gaming, thank you so much in the super chat, bud. I've been sitting on that for a minute. So, Colt, real quick, we're going to skip Shady on this one because he just started it. But Colt, give us.
I have one thing even quicker. I do look forward to playing with you guys a little bit later, because my NAT type is locked up tighter than Microsoft's ad budget. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how it does actually play with a closed NAT and see if that is the problem or not.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll definitely try that out. But Colt, what's your thoughts, man, real quick?
You can see why people would believe, you know, the people haven't played, you can see why they would just automatically take that at face value, that, yeah, the game's broken, it's not working, and it's not fun to play in its current state. But all I can do is offer you my opinion, and is that I've played probably 10 hours, and the only gripes I have are trying to get back into my gate of my home, and it shows it's open, but it acts like it's closed. So that's like 1 second and that's done, and it doesn't come back till later. But another thing is there's a clipping problem with the flashlight. If you're joining a friend, your flashlight, the source of the beam is just slightly behind your clothing, so it flickers and you can see like the strap from your backpack, and it's annoying, you know, it sucks. And I'm sure it's something that they're going to fix, and every once in a while it will stall for about 2 seconds when you're with friends driving. Everything will be really smooth, and it'll just go, meh, and then it's back. Yeah. But you know, like these are like little things that bug me for like 2 seconds, and I just feel like it's so split. I feel like there's people like we've been talking about, like Dealer and I, and a lot of friends that we play with who've had very minimal problems, and then there's the other people. Either you have it really bad or you have it just fine. I just haven't seen it in between. People are really upset, and I'm hoping that they can figure out what the disconnect is there.
I think people are really upset because the game is good. You know, there's a lot of good things about the game, and I think some people that are really into this type of game, this survivalist, you know, type of game, are really into this one, and they just want to have a bug-free experience, I think.
Yeah. Yep. And a lot of people that spoke on the game initially were playing co-op, and they were having those NAT issues, and they might have given their impressions a bit too early, and you know, it sucks, but for the most part, a lot of the big complaints I heard were about the co-op, and I understand how that stuff works, so I tried to help them, and they had a good time. And I don't know, it's unfortunate, but don't believe any of us. We're all assholes and corporate shills, right? So just
I know I am.
I want to add one thing here. If you're having any troubles, just try to play it solo without co-op right now. And I think for the most part you should be okay. I think most of the bugs are tied into the co-op. I'm pretty sure on that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, definitely, for sure. But like I said, just go play it. It's on Game Pass now, even without this game, and see if these are still phenomenal value, in my opinion. No, I don't think it's being used to subsidize mediocrity. Oh, we got Game Pass, we can just release these mediocre games because you know, I don't think people will be saying that when Horizon 4 hits later this year. Like, it's going to do well no matter how much people try to mind will it to fail. So either way, we do got a few delays I want to run across real quick. Metro Exodus is Q1 of 2019, apparently. We've also got Jesus Christ, Skull and Bones. Did that get pushed back to 2019 crap or 2020? What was that?
2019.
2019. And then we've got Shenmue is 2019 as well. So
Skull and Bones, the real
that one's delayed to get some polish, guys. Don't worry.
Some polish.
Tear it off.
Yeah, they got to polish it. Of course, that's the same thing that happened with Crackdown 3. So, you know,
but that's not okay, is it?
No. I mean that's what people are like. It's funny because when that was announced that it's getting delayed for polish and like upgrade, like they're gonna fix the graphics or whatever. Everybody's like, "That's great, yeah, man. The longer the better. We'd rather have a better game." You know.
Yeah, it should have happened to State of Decay too, though.
Oh, just think if that and Sea of Thieves probably would have got delayed, a year, you'd be looking at completely different games. But Microsoft's in a rock and a hard place, really. You know, honestly, like it's a tough situation to be in because they had a real rough year last year, and then you have people clamoring for games, and you're like, well, we got to get these games out. Even though I believe that for a specific amount of time, they just stopped production on some games and they just had no budget whatsoever. And that's explaining why we're in this situation. Like, I mean, look at Halo, right? This kind of proves my theory that, you know, we're not going to get Halo this year. We may not get one for a couple of years. And that means that they could have possibly stopped production on that at a point, you know? So that's a very, you know, you have to wonder what was going on, how dire was the situation, man. I would love to read a book on this down the line, like see exactly what was going on.
Like some kind of interview from Phil Spencer and fucking 10
years
like,
hey, we were that close to being sold off or closed down or whatever.
I don't think any of that shit's anywhere near have happened. I don't think they ever stopped development on the big first party and like Forza 7, Forza Horizon 4, Halo, Gears. I don't think those ever stopped moving, but I think they had to definitely cut their losses elsewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, unless it was Halo, Gears, or Forza, they weren't investing anything, you know, like just a couple of nickels.
Didn't have the funds. So. Fucking Terry Myerson, cockbag,
exactly.
Since been let go, was just siphoning the funds from Xbox. And it's a good thing he left. And that was why Phil got promoted, basically, in the long run. But Fonz, Black Ops 4 confirmed not to have a single player. And they're doing it with multiplayer content instead. And they say single player was never in the cards, Fonz.
First of all, Why did you come to me with some COD shit, man?
Because you're the biggest Call of Duty fan I know.
Actually, I love Call of Duty. I bought every single one of them. So.
Well, I figured
I also have them all.
I could get a little rant out of Fonz about
well, when I have played Call of Duty, guys, in the past, this has been a while. It's always been campaign only. I don't really care for the multiplayer, like in most of these online shooters. It takes a lot to get me in there to be competitive against others and playing these games. I mean, I've played some Call of Duty online, but it's not for me. It's too Twitch based and too fast, and I'm just not into it.
I'm too old.
I'd rather play. No, I'd rather play like Battlefield or Ghost Recon or something for that. But the campaigns is what I play if I play anything with Call of Duty, and without it having a campaign, that's for sure a no buy for me.
Yeah. Well, we got to give a shout out to Punkerdish and King Ram and all the guys, Irrelevant Native in the chat. All you guys, thank you guys so much for hitting the show up. If you're watching, please hit that like button. Let's try to get up to 300 before the end of the show. I'd appreciate it. Really helps more than you know. But Fonz, you're fine with them just saying, fuck it. We're going to do technically less work where the more the budget's put and just give you a multiplayer instead. I'm going to take that as a yeah.
Good talk. I can counter that, though.
Yep.
I bought COD World War II. I played it and stuff like that, but I'm not really big on their campaigns and stuff. And when I saw the gameplay for this new one, it looks really polished and really clean. And the fact that they announced that huge battle royale, blackout mode, the fact that the map's going to be 1,500 times bigger than Nuketown, it's actually got me so excited. And I think that
they chose the smallest map, and they're like, it's 8,000 times bigger than the closet map.
But they're going to have vehicles and all kinds of shit, So I think that they could really impact that genre. It's really popular right now. Yeah. You have Fortnite and PUBG and stuff. So I don't know, man. I definitely wasn't going to buy this game before the announcement, but after the announcement, after seeing the gameplay and hearing about Blackout, I'll probably pick it up, honestly.
So you're a COD fan as well, too. You're more of a multiplayer guy as well, huh?
Well, yeah. If you see me online, I'm playing Fortnite and I'm playing NBA 2K, which is microtransaction machine, but I'm playing with friends always, you know what I'm saying? Co-op and State of Decay. It's just my thing, man.
If I can ask you, since you're going to be getting it, do you think it warrants the full price of a game, though?
Well, if you think about it, if they put taking this huge map, like it's not like COD to make a huge map like that. Plus they're instituting vehicles, which takes time. They're developing this game mode that takes time and resources. If that's included in the game plus the regular multiplayer, that's giving people content. Plus they're talking about the zombie mode being more of story, having more of a story. So if you add all that up together, I think it's a lot of content for that price point. It might not be for you if you like the story mode, but that's not generally what people buy it for. If you look at the metrics, there's a lot of people online that are like, "Oh, I'm not going to buy this game if it doesn't have the story." Well, obviously, Activision looked at Overwatch and all these other things that are very successful, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's just do it." So.
Mm-hmm. Well, shout out to Godzilla in the chat, bro. You got to change the name ever since that game came out. Anyway, yeah, definitely crap. What are you thinking about this?
Well, here's the thing. I am a multiplayer guy, but I always play campaigns first. If you read what they're saying, they're like, no, we never had a campaign in mind. So they were originally going to launch this with just multiplayer and zombies. And then last year when they saw PUBG and Fortnite pick up, that's when they started this blackout mode, right? And they're not giving us any kind of how many people are going to be able to play it. That's peer-to-peer what they do. So is this going to be like, are they going to actually invest in servers? So they were actually going to give you less and still charge you the full $60. These things are under 3-year development cycles now. I don't really think there's any excuse not to do a campaign. I know the last Black Ops had a really bad, it was a bad campaign and nobody finished it. I get that. But if you look at the biggest complaints about the first Star Wars Battlefront or Titanfall was no campaigns. And so they fixed those with the second ones, respectively. I don't like the idea of them taking the single player out, because then I think that could be a thing where developers get greedy with that. And they go, well, you know what? Battlefield doesn't need a campaign. Halo, most people just play that online.
Really shouldn't be followed.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my worry completely. I won't be buying it. And they were quick to go, this doesn't mean there's never going to be a campaign in another, Black Ops game. And then of course the rumor leaks out that next year's is Modern Warfare 4 and it's going to have a full campaign, zombies, and possibly a PUBG mode too. Like that has my attention, right? I'm already skipping past.
It's just Activision just shoving that dick as far up as they can and seeing how much of it they can get away with, really.
Language.
Yeah, like I could see them doing that with Destiny too, right? Like, or 3. Well, we don't really need a campaign because our metrics only showed that 2.3% beat that campaign.
Our metrics also show we don't like spending as much money to make games as we do.
Exactly. We can crank out a multiplayer in 1.5 years, but when we do a campaign, it takes 2.5 to 3 years. So we want to make that money in between there. So basically, this is what we're going to say to screw everybody.
And I don't like they were small, right? It'd be fine if they were a small team, but that's Activision. Like they made 2/3 of their profit last year, not even on DLC or games, but on microtransactions, and you can invest a little more to give us a campaign. So you're right, Crap. I'm with you. This will be another Call of Duty I don't buy.
Yeah, this is the first one I'm not buying, so that like.
But hey, that's the thing. Everyone's got opinions.
Hey, like I'm not going to try to talk anybody out of it. Like Mooch, he's like, man, I'm all in on this because I never played any of the campaigns. I'm like, good for you. But not only did they remove the campaign, but they downed it to 5v5 in the regular matches. Right? Like by the time next generation rolls around, we're going to be rolling around 3v3 thinking it's the shit. I don't like what happened to the next gen stuff and the power. It's like they did the same thing to Destiny 2. Which was 66v6 on the first one, and now it's like what 4v4 or something. That's like, why are we getting smaller amounts of players on these maps? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Anyone else give a fuck about Call of Duty in here?
Battle Royale 5 versus 5.
I'm gonna be skipping it like everybody else on the panel. I get it every single year, and I'm not too much into the multiplayer of Call of Duty. I just don't really like it. I'm more of a Battlefield guy. And like I see they're going to try to mimic it, but I know they're not going to be able to do it like Battlefield. So Battlefield is my multiplayer, first-person shooter game. So like I said, every year I don't play it on COD. So this year I'm skipping it for sure because I won't play it. So wasting my money.
Well, not to be a part of Dee's blanketed statement, I am going to pick it up. I love the campaigns. Don't get me wrong; they're one of my favorite parts of Call of Duty. But that Battle Royale, I think I'm going to pick up this Call of Duty before the first sale. I normally wait until the first big sale on Xbox to grab them, but I won my Battle Royale, baby.
So you're looking forward to the game. That's good. So I mean, like I said, everyone's different. Let us know what you think in the live chat if you're watching after the fact. Let us know in the comments down below. Real quick, Resident Evil Cloud Edition, Cloud version has been announced for the Switch and the eShop. In Japan, you can basically play Resident Evil 7 from the cloud. So, yeah, no one cares. Eurogamer, they slammed Days Gone. So, Eurogamer's on a trend right now where they just figured that satire and this kind of stuff can get them what they want, I guess. And you know what? Whether you're a fan of Days Gone or not, Xbox, PlayStation, I think we can all agree slamming a game that doesn't even come out for another fucking year it doesn't serve much of a purpose.
No, it's kind of dumb.
So, Crap, what do you know about this?
Well, here's the thing. I've been saying for a long time, and I'll get hate for this, because even though I called God of War my game of the generation or whatever, I love it. I said Days Gone looked very generic to me since the beginning. I think that it's not my cup of tea. I think it's going to be fine by the time it releases. I don't think it's going to be on the level of God of War or anything like that, because the thing is, Sony Bend, they don't have that pedigree that Santa Monica has. They don't have that pedigree that Naughty Dog has. They're kind of following that template, and it's going to be probably a solid game. And probably Eurogamer, I don't know, they were just bored or whatever, and like, hey, let's go check this stuff out. But I always thought it looked kind of generic and didn't look appealing to me. But I think it'll be fine by the time it releases for people interested in it. I think you're probably looking at, it's not going to be a 90-something Metacritic. No. People are going to have to deal with that. It's probably going to be somewhere in the low 80s. But I think it's going to be fine for people that are interested in it. I like the zombie thing. And I'm kind of played out on that completely. Honestly, like the single player
That's the
zombie.
thing that separates State of Decay is it's a little more unique with the simulations and stuff. But they say the demo they played was sadly sloppy and lifeless. And I mean, like, the polish happens in the last 4 months of the game's life cycle. And I'm just thinking to myself that no matter what game it is, it's really dumb to say this kind of stuff and put that out there when the game, it just discourages developers from showing you a fucking thing at all anyway,
Yeah,
So,
they're basing it all on that alpha footage, and you know, it's not polished. Of course not. I mean, it doesn't come out for another year, but again, I think hell froze over because I'm agreeing with crap on the game. But
you don't have to say that every time.
yeah,
Disclaimer.
Sometimes I have decent opinions, you know.
yeah. But here's the thing. Yeah,
Grab a parka.
I know there's a lot of things about us, content creators and podcast, you know, folks that get a lot of shit sometimes that aren't true at all. I know, I get it. But nah, I think this game just doesn't. There's nothing really drawing me to this game at all. I mean, it's another zombie game, and there's nothing, like you said, Dealer, that sets it apart from other games like that. It reminds me too much of, say, The Last of Us, but without the great story or something that could, I don't know, pull me in. There's just nothing there yet. And
I think, it's too early.
I'll give it a shot, but I've got to see more.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, that's their thoughts. Anyone else check this out before we move on?
Nope.
No one? Okay. Well, shout out to over 600 people watching us live. Hit that like button if you're here. Thank you so much for participating. Battlefield 5 confirmed to be Battlefield 5. Pretty odd. They went from what is that? 3, 4, and 1, 5. So you know, somebody will figure out some kind of enigma riddle code with that.
They had Microsoft helping them there because Microsoft was like, oh, they're an Xbox. They had Xbox One, and yeah, they're like Battlefield 1.
The reveal is what is the reveal?
Hang on, I'm sorry. I've got breaking news about State of Decay. I've asked a couple people to reinstall the game to see if they can get it to fix, and somebody just told me it works. Thank you so much.
Nice.
And somebody in the chat said I shouldn't have to go through the hoops of reinstalling a game. Well, sometimes you have to.
Never
on
get
PC.
A PC. Never.
Yeah, if you're on PC, you may have to do that once in a while, and maybe you got to do it once on a console. And it sucks if it takes you, 40 minutes to download the game again. But if it means you get to play the game you bought, then please give it a shot.
Somebody in the chat, Crypt, he said, no, the V is for victory. Well, that's interesting if that's the case. So let us know what's going on with that. But either way, the reveal is tomorrow. It is World War II. We already know that from the teaser, which is unfortunate in my opinion. And it's got Xbox marketing. So they're making another deal with Xbox for the marketing for this one. So you know it's going to take full advantage of the X. Shady, what are you expecting, you fraud?
I'm expecting full-on indestructible environments like we saw way back in Bad Company. Since then, I've always felt that the Battlefield games just put you in environments that didn't come apart as much as the old environments from Bad Company did. And I want to see that jacked right up. I want to see realistic graphics. I want to see big player counts. I want to see a Battle Royale mode. I want to see some commercials.
I want to see, I'd like to see all those things in addition to some damn guns. I'm tired of this EA trend with 4 fucking guns per class.
Yep.
Give me some customization. Give me a ton of guns like Battlefield 4, but make it work.
The problem with that, Dealer, is it's World War II. I've told people that this is a bad move by EA and Battlefield. I'm a huge Battlefield, player and lover, FPS, all that. But Battlefield 1 was garbage. I couldn't even play it for I don't even know how many hours I got into Battlefield 1. There was no customization. It's just because the guns are old. It's an old setting. It's hard to be in that environment and have Battlefield because Battlefield's based on these huge maps with lots of vehicles. And it just doesn't work in that setting, in my opinion. And then you're going to do World War II, which Call of Duty just did. I don't know. I think this is a bad move for them personally, but
I'm with you. I'd like it in the modern day with all those attachments and customization.
Yeah. Remember Battlefield 4? How many?
When it worked, it was good.
Yeah.
You say Battlefield's supposed to be big. Boys, it doesn't get any bigger and badder than World War fucking II. My God.
No, but the guns, man. You're
this is going to be the best. This is going to be the best we've ever seen that era. Maybe, hopefully, one of the last for a while, but I think it's going to be the best we've ever seen World War II in a shooter, and I am excited.
I think you got a point there, Shady, yeah.
The problem is how many times have we seen that battle? How many times have we seen WWE in a game? It's
nothing like what we're going to now, though. Nothing
Nah, I
like what
think
we could
That's
now.
that every time, though. I mean, and
We'll
then-
see. I mean, like, can we really judge it before it's out? We just don't know.
But-
Like, I
but-
just want more guns and options to customize my guy. You know,
But that's the thing. You're not going to get that because it's World War II, and that's
Yeah, like how much can you do to those guns? You know.
well, I mean, they had like I think with all the DLC in Battlefield 1, they have like 8 guns per class now in the World War One Battlefield 1. So if they can match 8 or 9 from launch with World War II, which they can easily do, then I'll be a little more happy. They can find ways to make it more creative on the other side. But until I see it, you know, I can't. I don't know. I just got to see it. So Y9 Power says constant complaints that Xbox has no games, kind of making developers rush their games instead of making games. You know, basically leading to them rushing the games. Yeah, I mean, we completely agree. Y9 Power it could put additional stress on the developers, and that's what I agree with. I don't think all the negativity is great for anyone. So. Anyone else got some final thoughts on Battlefield 5 crap?
I'm just looking forward to it being enhanced from the start. You know, like Battlefield 1 never got an enhancement.
No, it didn't.
Yeah,
It
that's
did
like,
scale up dynamically, automatically, but that's it.
Yeah, because it was 900 or 720, whatever it was on the regular Xbox One. So it was dynamic, so it goes all the way up to 1080p. But the Pro got a 1440p patch or whatever it was.
It was like 1500, yeah, something P it went up to.
Yep.
I think Battlefield 1 with those settings could have did 4K on the X if the Pro was getting 1500 fucking P. So
yeah,
it would have looked great, but you know, it is what it is. D, you got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be Xbox One enhanced because EA, they got a good relationship with Microsoft, and of course the X has been out for some time, so I'm sure they're gonna optimize it for the system. And I'm looking forward to Battlefield because Battlefield's always leagues ahead of Call of Duty for graphics and for multiplayer. So I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, and Foxfire is as well. Look at her; she's stoked. She's multiplayer. So, man, Colt, you were blown away the first time I got you into Battlefield 1 lobby. You're like, holy shit, this stuff is blowing up. A plane almost crushed me. Like, are you curious at all about the just what is the Battlefield? You know, the things.
I mean, I played tons of Battlefield games, but I mean, it did look a little bit. That slight improvement on the X helped too, but yeah, I mean, I'm not excited about Battlefield 5 yet. I think I really wanted to see a modern one, but I'll see how it looks. I'm sure it's cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, Assassin's Creed, just to shift gears here. Assassin's Creed, apparently, they've got some live action stuff happening in World War II. Could be hinting at maybe in a couple years, maybe they'll take a shift towards a more modern era as well. Just figured I'd throw that out there. It's nothing in game form, but I really wanted to read one of the RDX sponsor questions. Darj Knight basically says, hi, guys. What are each of you hoping Microsoft announce at E3? Love the show. So this is, keep in mind, you know, he wants to know stuff that you don't think is leaked or things that aren't leaked. Really just use your imagination. What do you really want to see them announce at E3, no matter how crazy? And we'll start with you, Fonz.
Something brand new, a new IP that would just blow everybody away. Something big, open world, you know, on the scale of something like The Witcher 3, but just better. You know, that's what I would like. That's my pipe dream there.
So a big RPG that's really, really polished and fleshed out. Colt.
Exactly the same thing Fonz just said, but then someone just said Rise 2. I've said this before. I want to see Rise 2 where Marius comes back with more powers. I called him Marius. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
What about maybe doing the Assassin's Creed approach where every Rise could be a different person at a different point in time?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So
yeah, I mean I think it was a missed opportunity. We've talked about that plenty of times. Rise could have been much more if they would have added a little bit more variety to it, because this gameplay is solid. The boss fights were really cool. The I mean, the multiplayer, which nobody really messed around with, did some stuff like it's building a pyramid and dropping traps and stuff while you're playing in the multiplayer. And like, where was this in the campaign? This is really cool.
Yeah, Rise. I mean, like I said, that Batman combat did a lot for me, and the visuals were outstanding. So I really enjoyed it. Shady, what are you really hoping, or kind of your dream announcement for E3 this year?
Well, after seeing Ready Player One earlier in the year, I noticed that the Battletoads popped up a couple times throughout the movie, and I would like to see that franchise somehow modernized into a really fun, amazing-looking beat-em-up myself.
So
Battletoads, yeah.
Battletoads.
Noof Nukem in the chat. Look at all these fries.
Boom, boom, kaboom. It's me, Noof Nukem, in the room.
Noof standing in front of 6 mirrors right now. Look at all these fries. D-Batch, man, what's your dream announcement?
I'm like with the rest of the panel. Just announce like a new IP. I could do with a Rise 2. I'd love to get a Rise 2 or surprise us with the Project Gotham reboot. Crimson Skies. I'd be cool with something
really, D. I'm gonna give you a little bit more time so you can be a little bit more creative.
That's what I'm looking for, man. That's what
Crimson Skies would be sweet.
Crimson, like a lot of people forget how Crimson Skies was. That game was fucking awesome.
That was my most played original Xbox Live game, was Crimson Skies by far.
So you can imagine making that a technical showcase, particles flying off your plane, and like going all out with the visuals and the physics, and really just if you're only doing one thing and you're only flying planes and shooting each other, it needs to be stunning, right?
Yeah,
and you could have like a battle royal mode with the fucking planes. That'd be fucking sick.
Why don't you guys just add Cameo to that list?
in all honesty, though, I just want Microsoft to show us something that's going to showcase the Xbox One X, something that's going to blow us away, that's going to capture our minds and hearts like Gears did with its graphic and its graphic settings and its gameplay. Just deliver something on that keep for us. And
keep in mind, this is all hypothetical. Of course, I don't think we'll see any of this, obviously, this E3, but it's good to dream. And Salty, what about you?
If I had to pull something out of my ass, I would say Resurrection of Scalebound. That'd be cool, but that's never going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they were like, hey, we've been working on this behind the scenes and it's actually going to work. But yeah, that would be a dream scenario.
And I'm just going to stop that one guy that's going to leave a comment and be like, they brought it back to the store. That was an old page that somebody found the URL to. So Scalebound definitely hasn't risen from the grave. Did I get everybody? Myself, I would like I don't know, when it comes to first party, Mech Assault, maybe. Just like I said, maybe make it a spectacle visually, go all out on it, or some kind of RPG, big, polished experience that's done, a finished quality experience. That's what I want. So I don't feel like that's asking for a whole lot.
I want Fable.
Fable. Okay, yeah, I forgot you.
I'm pretty easy to please, man. Show me, like, I buy Xbox. I know everybody's like new IP. I like. I'd just be happy. Show me the Fable, Forza Horizon, and the Halo, and I'm good because that's what I buy Xbox for. So,
gotcha. And shout out to almost 700 people watching us live, guys. Hit that like button if you're here. We appreciate it. Thanks to the Darge Knight, the RDX sponsor, for your question. I didn't get many questions this week. I did throw it up yesterday. I'm a little late on it, but on the Patreon website, I usually throw these questions up and let these guys get out there with this stuff. So if you're interested, once again, link in the description. PS4 in the final phase of its life cycle, and this is according to Sony CEO. He says Sony will crouch down and stand tall. Will stand tall later. Basically, what amounts to what was it, Shady? March 2021. Yes. So they're talking about a period until then where they're kind of just going to lay off of some things. Go ahead and give us the details on this.
Okay, I read a few articles today, and I'm going to choose the one from GameSpot. I just felt that it had the most of what was said, and that's that, and left a lot of their opinion out of it. So I'm going to take some stuff from there. So today, during Sony's corporate strategy meeting, PlayStation boss John Codera said that the PS4 is entering the end of its life cycle. While this could have a negative impact on Sony's gaming division overall, the Wall Street Journal has Codera quoted as saying that Sony is not discontinuing the PS4 now or anytime soon. Of course, the system is expected to continue to sell well as new exclusives games for it, like The Last of Us Part 2, Spider-Man, and others come out. Earlier this year, Sony said that it is expected to sell 16 million PS4s during this year compared to the 19 million it did last year. Sony's game network and services segment, which houses the PlayStation business, is expected to remain the juggernaut for Sony, with PSN hitting 80 million active users, which is up from 70 million last year. Additionally, Sony said that it will look to add more PlayStation Plus subscribers going forward, which will help Sony make more money on a regular basis. On top of that, Sony also says that it wants to create more first-party exclusives, while also looking at harnessing growth opportunities in the area of add-on content.
So
Overall,
you said, so just to catch that real quick, they're quoting them. They said they want to create more exclusives.
yes, they want to. Not that they have and will be coming, but that they want to do so. And that takes time. Intriguingly, John Kodera is also quoted during the meeting as saying that during the period covering right now through March 2021 would be a time when PlayStation will crouch down once to stand taller in the future.
So that's a ton of information. Geez. So basically, here are the games. We're focusing on the big four this E3. You know you're getting one of those this year in Spider-Man. The rest of them will come next year or the year after. But plan on seeing some PlayStation 5 stuff like sooner than later, right? Like I heard Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost of Shiitake Mushrooms is a 2020 game, which could be potentially PS5 maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, what do you guys think about this?
Yeah,
I definitely took this as the PS5 is coming a little bit later than a lot of people thought. I think when you're crouching low once, that's not launching a new generation. I think we're not going to hear or see anything with the PS5 until the E3 2020 myself.
I say just the opposite. I think this spells that it's coming sooner than people think. I think that they're saying that they're going to support the PS4 through 2021, which is just perfect for releasing a new console.
But that's not what he said, though. He said we're going to crouch and we're going to stand up in 2021 March.
Yeah, I know. But
so if you're launching a new generation, I'm sure as fuck standing up.
It also says Sony predicts a downturn in their profit for their game and network services for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2021. In my opinion, if you're launching a new console, that's when you start to make more money. That's when more interest is generated.
Yeah, so, they'll be launching a new console 2019 or 2020.
I think they're doing it 2021 in March. They're going to pull a Nintendo and launch it in March, not in the holiday. And they're hoping to just do what Nintendo did. Have a bunch of games.
So they're crouching now, right? They're crouching now, and they're like, hey, we're going to sail on what we've already developed. We're going to develop some stuff in the background for March and later of 2021, which could be PS5 territory. Real quick, I got to get this. No, well, that's a weird name. No Bites. He says, "Ever played MechWarrior? Dream game right now." Yeah, man, appreciate it. The super chat. Sorry, I kept looking at it. I had to go. But yeah, I agree with Shady. I think they're kind of holding off on it a little bit.
I think it's the opposite. I think I agree with Fonz. I think the crouching down is that they're not going to be really announcing any big titles until after 2021. A lot of these games that they announced, these games are coming on the PlayStation 5, man. These games, like The Last of Us, I don't think The Last of Us is going to come out on PlayStation 4. I think it's going to come on the PS5. I think it's probably going to be a launch title. And I think probably the Ghost of Tsushima is going to be a launch title too, but it's going to be a little bit scarce that year, 2020, because it's going to launch in November if it were to launch. And you have November, December, January, and then bam, you're into the next year, right? So I think it's just going to be scarce for the launch.
Let's be 100% transparent real quick. This was an investor call, right? And as Shady mentioned to me earlier, these guys are being super blunt with their stockholders, saying, "Hey, we are smooth sailing for a few years. Our stock is going to go down." That's why he's reporting that they're going to bring less money in. But don't sell your stock now, because in 2021 March, you are going to regret it. Yeah. We're going to stand tall in March 2021, and you're going to wish you never sold your stock.
So, real quick, why would they predict when they're going to stop production on the PS4 right now? Like, if you look at other generations, when the new consoles come out, it takes a while for them to phase out, So
I don't think they're saying stop production, though, are they?
No, but they were talking about like the PS4. Whoever was talking about it, saying the PS4 is coming out 2019 or 2020. Like, it's obvious that they're talking about the next generation starting there, but not the other one ending. I don't know. It's just.
I think 2020 makes a lot of sense. 25th anniversary of the PlayStation, 20th anniversary of the PlayStation 2 here in North America. They're in no hurry. Maybe you guys didn't see the NPD come out today.
Nope.
You guys didn't see that?
No.
They just broke records. PlayStation 4 was the best-selling console hardware in April. Best sell. Okay. Also, it's the highest April dollar sales for a console since the Wii in 2008.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, also God of War broke all kinds of records. It's the highest ever launch month dollar sales for a launch exclusively on PlayStation 4, and it was Sony's April top seller, driven by that. So it actually beat what the hell is that damn game? Rockstar does it. You guys know what I'm talking about. GTA 4. It actually beat GTA 4 from when that came out, that debut. So
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, they are raking in the cash, all-time records, breaking Wii and Rockstar. I mean, and this is exclusive on one platform, and they're doing this. I agree that they'll probably, like, their decline was 1 million less this year sold than last year. So I don't see it before 2020, to be honest with you. I think they're going to come out with Spider-Man this year, and then I think they're going to come out with 2 next year, and then 2 in 2020, and then they'll remaster those or whatever, and put them out on the PS5.
Yeah,
I expect in this year during their PSX show, I expect them to start talking about the PS5.
I mean, would you do that with your big bangers coming out? Like realistically, God of War was a banger, but I don't think they have a banger as big as Last of Us 2. I don't know if they go around talking about their next console before that thing.
Sony can release the PS5 this Christmas and still sell PS4s like crazy.
Nobody wants to cannibalize their own sales that bad. Like I've said before, there's a reason that they announced the PS4 5 or 6 months before it came out. Same with the Xbox. Like they're going to announce PS5 the same year it comes out. Yeah. They're just going to.
I also want to point out that the PS4 hasn't even hit that casual market price of $199 yet. Nope. So that's like mass market casual price right there. So I'd say when it gets close to that, then you would have something to talk about. But it's still $249 or $299 for the Slim. Like that's still quite expensive. And then they're going to hit 100 million PS4s by March of next year. Why not then lower it and then crank up 2019 and try to hit. I'm sure they're going to try to break their own records, man. What is the PS2 has 150 million sold. PS4 has a shot.
Yeah, and I was scrolling through pages of comments about this article I read, and surprisingly, a vast majority of the people don't want a PlayStation 5 anytime soon. They're not ready to go out and spend money again on another console. They want to have some time with the one that they just picked up. These games are just getting good. God of War is goddamn amazing.
Too bad, so sad.
Only one God of War, though,
Too bad, so sad. You can't hold back progression for your own selfish reasons.
I'm gonna wait 7 years to jump in, and then the next year when they announce something new, I'm pissed, man. I'm done buying shit. So I think they'll announce it the same year it comes out. If they do it any earlier, it doesn't benefit them in any way. So the generation's winding down, fellas. Pretend like the X and the Pro never hit, because these are iterative upgrades of a console. They're not next gen. So unlike what I've heard people say the Xbox One S is next gen. That's how ridiculous these comments get. So
yeah, I think we got a serious hint here today, boys, and I'm going to put it out there. My prediction is PS5 is not coming any earlier than March 2021.
There we go.
At the earliest.
I don't think anybody's going to fault you.
March is not even a traditional launch date for a console.
It's not, but it worked for the Switch, and if there's anything Sony does really good, it's copy a good idea.
No, it's not.
Hey, their 25th anniversary is 2019. I'm telling you, and
you can
North America,
they'll announce it in 20.
They will have it within that time frame. 2019.
Well, in Japan it's 2019, but 2020 is the North American anniversary, which that's their biggest market now. They didn't even release the PS4 in Japan until 2014. So it makes sense that they would want to release it on the 20th and 25th anniversaries, respectively, which would be 2020. Like, I think that makes the most sense. That gives it a 7-year cycle with the iterative upgrade as well. And I mean, that's probably the way that they're going to go about it in the future. You could even get quicker iterative upgrades, according to Matt Prescatera from NPD Group. He says expect them every 2 years or so.
If that's the case, I just hope that Xbox isn't currently, quote unquote, crouching down when they launch their next gen. I want them full blown standing up, ready to launch that fucker into space.
You want the crouching tiger, hidden penis action,
I think they will.
Crouching down doesn't sound good when you're launching a new system. It just doesn't sound like you're all on board. Not ready yet. You're still getting ready to jump.
I think Microsoft will, though, because they have all these games in the oven right now. So I think by the time the next Xbox One X launches, you need about, I would say, 3 to 4 years to get a really decent AAA title. So they'll have enough time by then. And I just hope that the content is good in these games, but I have no doubt that they're developing them.
Well, I got to give a shout out to the chat, guys. Thank you so much. Before we move on to the next subject, just thanks for doing what you do. Hit that like button if you're here. Shout out to over 700 people watching live. Colt, any last thoughts on this? Anyone else got any last thoughts on this Crouching Tiger?
Colt Eastwood told me that it was coming in 2019. I seen a video.
Millions did.
Well, it's funny because Michael Pachter and that Damien Thong guy thought that it was going to be 2018. I mean, imagine that. But
Pachter. Imagine that they're breaking all these records, about to hit 100 million, and they're completely dominating in every facet of the meaning. And they're like, "Hey, let's go ahead and rush out our next thing and start over." Like, I mean, that's not good business sense, in my opinion.
No, but I'm solid on. I disagree with half the panel. I think it's going to be 2020. I think in the spring we'll hear about it, and for 2020, and it'll be that year. I think Xbox 5 will be out that same November too.
Every year
or
that
Xbox
the PS, yeah, bless you. Every year that the PS5 isn't out, like if it's not out in 2019, that bodes really well for Microsoft because I think they've been eyeing 2020 all along.
Yeah.
And I think that their idea is, and I said this is smart of them. Have your game. I know it's going to be rough. I think we're going to get tentpole franchises until then, but I don't expect anything new like before then. I think they're going to launch the next Xbox in 2020, and they're going to be like, "Hey, now Game Pass is a thing, isn't it, bitches? Get Halo 6, get Gears, get Forza, Fable all day one, $10, and your Xbox 2 or whatever the hell they're gonna. Hopefully they come up with 5.
How much bigger would Quantum Break and Sunset Overdrive and Titanfall would have been if a Game Pass had existed at the time?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Like, who knows? Because Quantum Break was I have a love-hate relationship with that game because I love it, but I can see completely why people don't. Mm-hmm. It was a little bit short and it had the TV aspect. I love the game.
Can you name any of the supporting characters? Crap.
I can't. Littlefinger,
Iceman,
Blackfoot. Yeah, I don't. That's the game's problem to me. Like I said, like it's a narrative-driven game, but it's just trust me, they can be done better. King Ram in the super chat says, "Real talk, can God of War still be considered to be a 10 out of 10?" What the fuck was that?
That was me. It was my mic. Sorry.
Oh, shit. Considering the game has glitches, they took out the mini games and the boobs. Well, Ram, thanks for being incredibly straightforward with us. I'm not sure. What do you think, Crap? You think that because you gave it a 10 out of 10, right?
Oh, like Quantum Break?
No, God of War. He's talking about God of War.
God of War was a fantastic game.
But he's saying, can it be considered to be a 10 out of 10 even though it has glitches and they removed?
Here's the thing, right? Like when you review a game, right? Like first of all, you don't have to. Like for me, I always think review is funny. Like nobody can tell you what to think about a game. I do them just for shits and giggles. But it's like I thought that experience dragged me. Like it does something that most games don't. Right away with the stranger fight, you are dragged into that damn game. Mm-hmm. And it didn't let go, right? There were times towards the end I was like, there were these false finishes where they're like, okay, well now we're gonna find we got to go do this, and I thought, man, that sucks. But then when the finish did hit you, you were like, holy shit, So that game for me, I never really ran into a glitch, but even if it did, that experience in that whole game is worth it to me. Right, like a 10.
Even though experience. It's a one and done.
Yeah, even though it's a one and done. I put my 20.
You gotta stop. We're buying these games for experiences, not for mindless repetitiveness. So
look, I put 28 hours in it. I beat it. I have I'll never go back to it. It's great. I like the statue. So it's like I'm now back on Xbox.
It's worth the money.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, to answer your question, King Ram, there, I think you put it pretty well. I give it a 9.5. I think it's worth. I think it is what people are saying it is, and that's why I strive for better because I have the confidence in Microsoft and what I think they're doing from things I've heard. to deliver some narrative driven experiences like that.
Hey, Pubes, I did give it a 10 out of 10. I reviewed it, gave it a 10 out of 10. Go check it out. I love when people think I just lowball PlayStation scores. I think I gave Ratchet and Clank a really good score. I liked that game a lot. I liked Uncharted 4 a lot. I liked, I can't help it that I didn't like Horizon Zero Dawn. Shoot me, like, damn, that game wasn't very good.
I'm having a hard time with it.
I had some dude on Twitter today like, you shouldn't call anyone a fanboy. I'm like, what's the last video you watched of mine? I'm not going to do this back and forth. What's the last video you did of mine? I'm not going to reply. I saw the guy was just all PlayStation stuff on his timeline. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But if you're going to accuse someone of something, at least go see what they're about instead of being ignorant. But that's half like that guy just refused to believe he got a good review just because, even though we've all seen the review, he just decided not to even Google it first. So it is what it is. We're moving on to oh geez, that's a long topic thing there. Forza Horizon 4 concept art or screenshots, whatever it is. How real do you think these are, Colt Eastwood?
They're not real.
Yeah, they're
unfortunately.
They're not real.
I still think that the game's going to take place in Tokyo. So, but yeah,
I think it's Hong Kong or something now.
What?
Yeah. Well, I also heard the UK, and then there was a leak last year for Louisiana. So.
It's in Toronto, man. Come on,
this is whole other country. Yeah, I don't know.
Forrest Gump.
No, just put it in Tokyo. I'm going to call Playground Games right now and just have them change it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds like similar, right?
It doesn't matter. That game will be anywhere, and I'm sure I'm going to love it. Those games are really good.
Yeah, they are. I just hope it's somewhere like the reason why I thought like Hong Kong or something looked good is because I could picture the HDR really popping on that, on the X. So yeah, that's why I thought that really looks good, but it's going to be good anyway. The only concern that I have about Forza Horizon 4 is the reason why there's no other Forzas in the Game Pass is because music licenses, they expire. I think they get them for 4 or 5 years. So Horizon is always dependent. I don't know. Like for me, I listen to the music that's in it, right? It's part of the experience, and I worry that since it's going in Game Pass and the exclusives are supposed to stay in Game Pass forever, is it going to have licensed music or is it not? That's a little bit of a concern for me. But I think
they would just update it and take it out like they did with GTA 4. I think.
Yeah, you just have to spend the time to take the songs out.
Tip Talk Dalton says Red Dragon senior video dealer. Well, good. He knows that I said I don't know if they're fucking real. So just because I made a video doesn't mean I'm saying they're real. I say, well, I think this one might be real. But
no, hold on. There was it's a Dual Shockers article, and it's like it's called About Those Leaked quote unquote Forza Horizon 4 concept art, and then it goes on to explain how those are actually from the first Forza Horizon or something like that. I don't know, but
why would they be using stuff from like Hong Kong in the concept art that early on? Like it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird.
Well, apparently there was like he goes into detail, and I read it. He goes into detail and says that when they were originally coming up with the ideas for the first Forza Horizon and the second one, even they had scouted like 12 or 20 different places to possibly get it, and so there was a lot of different concept art kind of floating around.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I buy it, but I think that it's still gonna. Who the hell knows where it's gonna be? I know it's coming out this year because
I keep hearing Japan and stuff, and like I said in that video, there's a reason that I'm like I don't know if these are real. You guys can maybe tell me. So I mean, if I don't know, I'm gonna say I don't know and leave it up to you guys. But it doesn't mean I can't make a fucking video on it. Everyone else did anyway.
Yeah. Why not? Right? Like shit, dude. What people don't understand is like you make videos. Everybody here makes videos. Speculation, rumor. That's part of the deal, right? Like that's
I know.
We're going into E3. Like I hate it when people are like, "Damn it, crap! You make a video about this and it spoils E3, or it does this, or your sources, or whatever." And it's like, you know what? I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes it's all good. But it's the speculation. It's the fun of this. It's the fun of doing the videos and talking about it. That's what I enjoy about it.
Nobody forced them to click on the video.
Yeah, so it's like it's all for fun. If it happens, it happens. We know we're getting a Forza Horizon this year. It's probably going to be our best exclusive. So it's the one I always most look forward to because I prefer the Horizon series. And I just, the third one was like my game of the year. It was phenomenal.
The Battle Royale.
I can't wait.
Microsoft is going to show some new controllers, guys. I spoiled E3.
Oh,
Yeah, they
gosh.
did. They're
Get
gonna
ready
show-
for that. Get ready for that Elite Controller 2.
We are getting the Elite Controller too. I'm
Yes.
excited about that.
Yeah, so I got another topic. Xbox update out now for the Discord, linking your Discord and all that shit. 100 million plus users, whatever. I don't really care personally. I'm sure some people do. You get the 120 hertz option. You get the 1440 scale option. You get the auto game mode feature, so the TV will detect if you're in a game, and if your TV has a game mode, it'll switch it to there to reduce latency. Latency crap, not latency, you fraud.
Latency.
And you'll be able to trim your recordings straight from their guide to share them on Twitter.
That's good because anytime you can avoid Upload Studio is a plus. Like I feel like you're working on it's like dinosaurs.
It's
man.
so
Like,
bad.
it is.
Can we get a straight upload to YouTube already? What the fuck?
They used to have one in Upload Studio, then they switched it, and now it's not there.
You can't go to the YouTube app and upload your stuff from there anymore?
No, not that I know of. And the funny thing is somebody asked Phil about an Upload Studio 2, and he says it's not their priority right now.
He said, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, like it's not our priority, and it's just like I don't get it. I don't get it.
Jeez, I used Upload Studio to get to like 6,000 something subscribers, and I respected what it could do. It got my voice out there, and it was trash, just like the videos, but it worked. And now, I guess you don't even have that option anymore. So.
Yeah, I say if they have a budget to deal with, I say, yeah, put all your time and resources into games. Screw Upload Studios.
Well, they got an update team yeah, they're two different things.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with the controllers when they come out with the new one, and people are like, those people could be working on a game, and it's like, no, they're different people.
I don't want Jerry and Lisa like being pulled out of their desk and go over to a development studio. Make a AAA game. Make a quadruple A game. Get the literally making avatars.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
we're gonna. That is another thing, man. They're gonna like announce avatars at E3, and like that's like we knew about that for a while, and it was supposed to come out before E3, and now it's gonna be an E3 announcement, and we're gonna act surprised. It's like knowing that you're going to a surprise party, and you're gonna have to act surprised anyway.
You know what? Crap, wasn't the implementation of your custom avatars a better thing than this? I mean, I was really excited to be able to put the branding of my channel on my profile for Xbox. Like that means more to me than like having like a metal arm and a really crazy spooky look in my eye.
Well, you know what? I think that the
but the arm does 2,500 RPMs, Cole.
It does, and not only that, but they're gonna announce some kind of avatar games, like, and that's where I think the customization
like
really
the 360, right? Put your
dude. It's like I know, like you can grow, but like they're gonna do some kind of racer, and they're gonna do probably like 1 versus 100 type stuff, So, and I get that.
And those will be the bangers that we get in 2019.
Banger after banger. Jesus. But
we're gonna play Multiplast the best though, so lock that in.
Well, Multiplast don't exist now, so.
Well, I got like hundreds of them, man. I don't know.
So I haven't been able to see what my Xbox One X can do. It's never shown me what it can do. I'm like, well, did you buy Far Cry 5? Did you play Witcher? Did you try Wolfenstein New Colossus? Well, I mean, I played those on my PS4. Oh, okay.
Oh, Assassin's Creed looks damn good on there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, holy crap, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Best looking games.
The biggest games, the biggest amount of games each year, multi-plats, and we're glad we have them. Yeah. And I'm glad that I got to enjoy them on the X. I really
Salty D, Shady. What do you guys think about just kind of now that we're kind of rounding it all off here? Any kind of overarching thoughts from any of you frauds?
Netflix looks good in 4K.
It sure does. What about you, Shady? I know you got something interesting to say.
I was going to say, those are some fun updates. I'll take them, but I would like to stream directly to YouTube myself.
Yes.
I know that it has a lot to do with on Google's end, but if Microsoft can maybe start throwing a little olive branches out there on behalf of us customers, we would sure like to do it.
Yeah. The funny part is Microsoft lights that Unity candle for everybody but Google, right?
Yeah.
They're so friendly with everybody, kumbaya. And then when
even Sony.
Even Sony. They're like, we love Sony, man. I'm still waiting for Mikey Barr on them to start streaming some Detroit here in a couple of days, like, so yeah, but it's like when it comes to Google and giving us the option to actually stream on there on YouTube, which I know a lot of Xbox fans want to do, especially if you have a channel. you know, it's content. It's like, you know, it takes care of itself. It's like it'd be great to have that option, and we don't. So
Google is legitimately Microsoft's nemesis.
they
Man.
are.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy,
They don't really see, like, you know, we're like, oh, you guys should be competing with Sony and Nintendo. Like, really and truly, they don't really see those guys as competition, because those guys have chump change in their pockets compared to what Microsoft has. But like Google, Amazon, these guys have as much money, or if not more, than Microsoft, and these are their true competitors. So
yep, 100%.
Yeah, the hate is real against them.
Yep. Well, hey, unless anyone else has got anything else to say interesting anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down here. Thank you guys so much for showing up.
There is one thing that broke at the end of the day today. There is a solid rumor that Microsoft is planning to bundle Xbox Live Gold with Game Pass, and there's quite a bit of discussion to be had there if we have a couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean it's
a big deal. Like,
where's this rumor coming from?
I was trying to go eat, but okay.
Where's this rumor coming? I haven't eaten in 16 hours. So 16
He's
hours
got like a
fasting.
fork full of spaghetti up to his mouth. He's like, dang it, Colt.
I mean, I was just really thinking, where's this rumor coming from?
It is coming from
a guy. I can look at Twitter. It's from a guy with 16 subscribers on YouTube.
It comes from Colt Eastwood. He says PS5 will be on 2019. Thank you very much. Hold on a second. I'll look it up. Just give me a second. Everybody's got stuff to do.
It's segment next or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, and it was
4chan.
There was oh my god!
Some guy in the subway forums.
I mean, real quick on the subject, there's some kind of a bundled price savings would be nice to see, but I wouldn't expect anything huge. You're not gonna get a year alive and a free year of Game Pass, but you know, a $20-30 savings, I can see that.
I'm thinking it'd be something where if you get Game Pass and Gold, which a lot of us are paying for both, it's $180 a year. I'm thinking they cut $20 off of that, but I think we're going to see something where they offer a monthly thing where they take Xbox Live Gold and make it maybe like $15 a month would cover Gold and Game Pass. Instead of asking somebody to debit out of their checking account $160 or $180 a year, you know, like when that $60 comes up at the year, you're like, oh gosh, I can't believe I have to pay for this. That's when we grumble about paying the paywall. Maybe Microsoft might be looking at it as, you know, making a discount where they keep people paying every month for Gold and for Game Pass. We're going to hear more about this as the week goes on.
It comes from
this D Mello guy in the chat, and he really needs to talk to you, Colt. Like, what the fuck do you do?
Hey, D Mello, send me a direct message at Colt Eastwood on Twitter.
This thing originally comes from,
by the way.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Generation on Xbox.
Okay, go ahead.
Generation on Xbox, which reported that some new job openings at Microsoft hint towards the unification of Xbox Game Pass and Live Gold. Specifically, the two offers request candidates to enhance the marketing area of Xbox Game Pass, and secondly, to Xbox Live Gold. So I guess they're just hiring to kind of get the. I would think that they're going to probably give people an option, you know, 140, $150 for both. And I mean, you're still going to have the $60 a year option for just the Gold or whatever, the 120 a year for. Like, I have Game Pass till next January. I got like a year free. It's not for me personally. Like, I think it's a good thing for some people, but for me personally, it's not really my bag. So,
yeah, I agree. I think they wouldn't bring it up as a piece at E3 unless it was an additional option. You know, you can have it. You can have it the same way or this way, or there's like 3 different ways to get
different tiers and shit. Yeah, because people like have so many different subscriptions going. Like every month at around a certain time, I always have, you know, Spotify and this and that. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to kind of make that a little bit easier. I get that. I think Game Pass is good for people that are to entice people over to the platform. Like, man, I've been on the PS4 this whole time, but that X really looks good, but I don't have any games, and I don't want all my games are over on PlayStation. Well, you get Game Pass, and then you have access to over 100 games right away, all the exclusives. That's a good value. You know, I think that's who that's probably for, or, you know, the college kids or whoever. But for me personally, it's not for me. But I can see like the value in that, and hopefully that can pick off. Like, I thought that the big bummer from the most recent game, Sea of Thieves and State of Decay, is they got such bad press that it makes Game Pass look like a worse value. You know, like now everybody's like, now it's just junk games in there. They're just putting junk games in there. You know what I mean? Like, like, no, that's what you hear, like mediocre games. And it's
mediocre games, like one of those fucking games by itself is worth the subscription for the month.
Yeah, so it's like, just relax, you know, like the good games will come. They've said that they're investing. Like people expect them like to shit games, and it's just not going to happen. You know, they're investing, and we're going to hear more about some stuff, but that stuff takes a little bit of time, you know, and you know.
And just to add to that, like Sony's saying they're gonna crouch their head down low because they gotta go back to the lab and they gotta go create new games again. And fucking time.
It does, because if you think about it, look, Sony always starts off every new generation with lackluster games or hardly any games, and all their first party studios are accounted for right now. And you're probably years away. I mean, Guerrilla Games is obviously going to make Horizon 2. You know, but every time a new game's released, like God of War just came out, they're probably hard at work on God of War 2, but that's years away.
Yeah.
You know? So people got to kind of remember that, you know, and if you want a game that's as polished and as big, and you need the time, they took 5 years to make that game.
Yeah.
Hey, Top Dog, you fucking dick face. Red Box 1X.
I just want to add on the Game Pass though. Another reason that I enjoy Game Pass is I'm able to play my PC games too. A lot of people don't know that. If you have a PC and you have the Game Pass on your Xbox One X or your Xbox One whatever, you can download that same game for your PC too, free of charge. So it's pretty sick.
Well, hey guys, it was a fantastic show. Thank you guys that are still listening. Hit that like button if you haven't already. We appreciate it so much. We're actually gonna get the fuck out of here because I gotta eat or I'm gonna die. And great show. Thanks for joining us, Scrap. Thanks for joining us, Salty. Even though you
no problem
halfway through the show.
Yeah.
And like I said, thanks to the chat too. Most importantly for you guys showing up because you power the show like you do. So once again, we're getting some outros. Shady, let us know where they can find you, bud.
You can find me at the Sesh Empire on Twitter. And I just want to say thanks to Crap and thanks to Salty for coming out. It was very cool for me as a community member turned panel member myself. It's pretty cool. And also on that note, I got told for the first time in my life to kill myself last week in the comment section.
Welcome.
Over opinions on video games. And I just wanted to kind of remind everybody that heading into E3 here, no matter what platform you enjoy playing your games on, we all love games, and let's try and treat each other with a bit more respect out there. By all means, disagree with what we have to say, but let's do it in a little friendly manner. Thanks.
Yeah. Somebody said no NPD talk. Yeah, but we already covered that. But that's the great thing about the show. You can re-render it and check it out and watch it while you're at work, pass your night a little faster. We get a lot of truck drivers and stuff to listen. Crap. It's weird. These people that these podcasts attract, you know, it's awesome hearing from these people in like all these crazy countries and stuff. So once again, thank you guys.
They're like breaker. We listen to that RDX,
breaker. Crap gamers are fraud over.
I hear that daily, man. I deal with that, but it's
breaker. This fucking Top Dog guy's a fuck face front over.
Top fraud. I think that's what Luca called him, right? So we'll just go with that.
breaker. D-Band shit 60 frames on Assassin's Creed over.
Hey, you know, when I was playing State of Decay 2 with All Day, he was doing a solid D-Batch impersonation. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it.
Yeah.
But holy crap, I couldn't stop laughing. It was about he paid somebody off with Assassin's Creed Unity and was talking about Canada. It was like, it's Canada, man. Just the way it was like hilarious. He's like, I just couldn't stop laughing, man. It was crazy.
Breaker. Thanks, Shady. It was wise words from an even wiser man. Well, at least when you're not taking out of context. So, Salty, thanks for joining us, bud. Where can people find you?
You can find me in the bathroom. That's where I was half the show. Bad Taco Bell. You know, don't eat. So that's why I was muted. I was like, damn, I hope he doesn't call me. Anyway, I'm good. You can find me, Saltiest Gaming, YouTube, the Saltiest Gaming podcast every Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern. We have 2 new panel members, Noof Nukem and Dark Optimus. It's going to be a great time. You can find me on Twitter, Saltiest Gaming, the eyes of one. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Fonzarelli, man, what you got going on?
Hey, you can find me at jfonzarelli on YouTube and on Twitter. And I echo all of what Shady had to say there, because people need to start treating each other better. You know, like Colt Eastwood says at the end of every video, be nice.
Like, hey, motherfucker told me to be nice. Don't be mean. So you can find Jay Fonzarelli at JFonzarelli on YouTube, Twitter. D-Batch. Where can people find you?
What's up? You guys can find me on Twitter at D_batch and on YouTube at D-Batch. And today I uploaded some State of Decay footage from the PC so you guys can see it for yourself that, you know, there's no glitches happening in my gameplay. You can make a judgment for yourself. And after this show, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, it should go live. I have some 4K 60 frames per second HDR footage of the Xbox One X.
Yeah, man, I put up a bunch of footage in my video about it, and I had like 5 co-op matches in that footage that were going just fine, and just all kinds of cool stuff, man. And people just, they get mad when you talk positively about that stuff. But we did discuss State of Decay at the beginning of the video. If you really want to know the collective panel, some people had problems, many didn't. Just kind of reboot the video when it goes live. Colt, where can people find you, man?
You can find me at Colt Eastwood on YouTube, where I kind of hit my 1-year anniversary of people actually watching my videos. So it was about a year ago this time when Dealer's like, hey, Colt. I'm like, oh, it's Dealer Gaming. Oh, my gosh, he's talking. Calm down. Yeah, it's been really cool. And I've been able to talk about one of my favorite hobbies, which is gaming. And everyone's been really great. The panel's awesome. The chat's awesome. And it's just kind of funny that we're talking about some of our favorite stuff and people take it personal and attack people. But yeah, be nice. You know, have fun, guys. I mean, I'll see you on State of Decay. Let's play some games.
Hey, Top Dog said, don't believe a word Fawn says. Yeah, that's because you get curb stomped every week, Top Dog.
He's your biggest fan, though.
He's back with his 4th robotic jaw.
Here's the thing. Before we go, I want to say one more thing. You'll find, if you guys listen to or watch some videos, you'll find that most of the people creating videos that are against certain games or whatnot, or being very toxic against a game, are usually those people that never played those games. Just think about that a while.
Yeah. And really, too, certain, like, it's really annoying when you hear, oh, you're so toxic, or this person's so toxic, but then they go watch someone who makes a video about a game that loses 3 FPS in an explosion. Like, really consider what that means, because I don't do that shit here. I know Crap doesn't make videos because games lose frame rate. Like, we might have bugged out in the past and fucked around with that dumbass shit, but you know, time changes shit, you know, so it's just, it is what it is. Assess people for what they say individually, and maybe, you know, DM them on Twitter if you have a question, instead of freaking the fuck out and doing what people tend to do. So did I miss any outros here?
Yeah, Crap Gamer.
Oh yeah, Crap. Gamer. Yeah, I just was saying that too. Yeah, where can people find you, Crap?
Crap Gamer Reviews. Actually, I got Xbox Nation podcast tomorrow at 8, so Salty is part of that too. Hopefully he's over his Taco Bell. So
we'll see.
Yeah, Xbox Nation, good show. I used to be a panel member there. Really good show. If you want, you know, different perspectives on a lot of different things, check out Crap.
And Mooch is always there with some kind of food reference or something. So it's always
the macaroni analogy. I love it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mooch. We had a good time chatting and playing State of Decay as well.
So yeah, I appreciate being on the show, especially since I heard I was banned. So that's always good. You know, no problem with anybody here, man. Like all you guys, and check out your stuff. And you know, it's just good to be able to kind of.
I'm going to talk to you about that after the show, because that's interesting that somebody even would say that. But
you're banned.
You're banned,
right? But, so I appreciated the invite and everything, guys. It's been awesome.
Crap, you hacked in. Is that what you did?
Yeah.
That's all you got to tell people.
Yeah, I'm such a whiz, man. I don't like it.
I took the Game Boy and put it up against the foil, and
I did. It's crazy.
You know what?
He shorted out the internet.
Here's the funny thing. Top Dog says hashtag diabetic gaming. You know, I think if he really believes that Xbox is like that, then he should be a big Xbox fan, because he doesn't like any game out there. Every game we talk about, he's like Z. It doesn't matter what platform.
You're talking about Top Dog, right?
Top Dog, yeah.
Well, yeah, he's only excited for VR. We covered that last week. God of War, nah. Red Dead, nah. Star Wars KOTOR, nah. VR, yay! He loves VR, so I mean,
Job Simulator 2000.
That's all he wants. But
I love Top Dog. Shout out to Top Dog. He's
I do too.
Mascot.
It's opposite day, Top Dog. Anyway, yeah, we're heading out, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Share this bitch on Twitter. Share this bitch around, and we're out.
See you next week.
He said this is opposite day.